Thank you, Alan, and it's great to be up here to speak to you all. I want to give you Alan sort of referred a couple of times to my background and our experience at Learning Initiative, and I'm just going to put that in a little bit of a context for you so you understand where some of his comments are coming from. I'm a teacher, and I've been a teacher for half a century. Well, that's according to my mother, because she said 50 years ago this spring, she came into my room, I was 2 years old, and I had all my stuffed animals lined up around the room, and I was giving them a lesson. That's what I'd learned recently in Sunday. And that's sort of where it began, and I've been doing that ever since, and I can't not do that. So I hope to be able to do a little bit of teaching here. 10-15 minutes isn't a long time for that, but I'm going to try to sneak in some little bits of that. And we already commented on our table. We already had some teachers up here, and I know when Ashley started speaking at our table, Jen said, she's a teacher, you can tell. So I am too. And you know what fuels my passion for teaching, as it was when I was 2, was really my love of learning and wanting to pass that on. And I loved what Martin was saying about we have to move outside of knowledge and get into learning, the sense that we don't already know what it's all about. And I embrace that wholeheartedly. I think that was a very important point that you made. At Learning Initiative for the last 14 years, we have been working in the field of developing human potential, increasing that potential, helping people to become more aware of what they're capable of, and actually helping them to realize that. Not realize it just in a sort of a mental sense, but actually realize it physically in the world so that their dreams become a reality. And one of the ways that we do that, we do that in a number of different ways. And our organization as a school is multifaceted. But one of the vehicles that we use is helping people to start small businesses. And since I started Learning Initiative during the last recession in the middle of the 90s, we have had the sort of great privilege of being able to assist over 550 small business startups in the community of Greater Sudbury. And it's coming from that perspective, and then particularly from watching the business startups that happened during the last recession and seeing what it took for those businesses to succeed, that I think part of why GEODE asked me here today, now that we have a new challenge of tough times. And what I'd like to do in what I'm saying today is to share with you a little bit of what I understand as snake medicine. Snake medicine is very, very powerful because it is about the medicine of transmutation, where you can take a poison and the shamans, they would ingest these poisonous plants and then be able to transmute them into a healing substance, a kind of medicine. And that's sort of what I see as what we can do with the challenge of these tough times. It's almost a truism. People say, take a challenge and turn it into an opportunity. But actually, that's a very powerful thing if you think about it. And that is what I think we can do. That's the kind of transmuting that I want to encourage you to participate in, which is taking these challenges and turning them into opportunities. And I want to look at that from the perspective of business, because that's the theme today. We can look at it really in many different areas of human endeavor, but I'm just going to focus on business. And as is my wont when I'm looking at business, I like to consider the business plan. I already talked about the plan review, and just looking at all of the different kinds of challenges we face as small business owners from the point of view of the different aspects of that business plan of what we're trying to do. So it's sort of my way of tackling business is to break it down into the departments that to me are the components of the plan. And I'd like to start with marketing, because that's the first thing you think of when the economy fails like this, because we say, oh, well, the markets fall and the markets disappear. I mean, it seems to be very much a marketing challenge. And certainly we've heard already today about the importance of having clients, and without that, Jerry made the point, we don't even have a business if we can't get the clients. So I want to address marketing first. So I'm not saying times aren't tough, I think for many people they really are. And that means that maybe they're not spending as much, and maybe we don't have as much consumption as we had even 6 months ago, a year ago, a year and a half ago, and so on. So for business owners, that's hard because we depend on people spending money for our businesses to work. So that is certainly a very serious challenge. But it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get so much better at marketing, which is key to a business. We can look for niche markets. Jerry mentioned this, and I think he was dead on with that. We take what we do and we say, how can we do it even better? People are still buying. You're all still buying some things. Everybody else is out there still buying some things. The question is, what are they going to spend money on? And if you're cutting back, you're going to spend money on things that you truly value. So this gives us as business owners an opportunity to make sure that our products and services are something that our markets truly value, which means we're not just selling to everybody. We have to be really, really intelligent about identifying who are our little niche markets, who really needs what we are exceptional at doing, and let's become exceptional at doing it. And then we target those people. So that's one advantage that comes out of, I think, a tough marketing time, is it can force us to do that in our company, which raises the quality of what it is that we offer and raises our effectiveness by better identifying our target market and promoting to them. That brings us to some of the challenges of promotion. Traditionally, promotion costs lots of money. Now times are tough, so do we have that budget? I know from working with all kinds of micro and small business, the first thing people want to cut is an advertising budget. It's the last thing I want them ever to cut, but the reason we tend to go there is because at least it feels discretionary. You know, I had an advertising budget for 2009, but at least I could cut it. I can't cut my rent unless my landlord's going to be working with me on that. I don't think somehow that he is. So, you know, you look to, well, I can't cut my insurance. You know, in terms of fixed costs, advertising looks like something where you have some flexibility with it, so it's where you want to cut. Okay, that said then, that doesn't mean we just cut advertising or cut promotion. It means how do we do it for fewer dollars? How do we be more effective? Here's where, again, tough times encourages us actually to become a better business, because it forces us to think of more creative solutions that don't cost as much money. We were talking at our table about social media, and I was telling them all about Pete Parody here from Green Sudbury, who is our social media consultant and who's absolutely fabulous in terms of giving us ideas of how we can get a lot of word out to people about things that we're doing for $0. I mean, except I got to pay him a little bit as a consultant there, but on that I'll be self-sufficient. No. So, that's just one example. There's all kinds of things that we can do in terms of creating events as a way to get promotion, creating publicity as a way to get promotion. These things don't have to cost money, and they can be done very effectively. And this is certainly something that I used to see with a lot of our small business startups when times were so bad in the 90s, was people using all kinds of creative ways to get the word out. We can use networking, which is an incredibly powerful tool. All of these things that we can do are great in good times. It's just in good times, everything's so easy, we forget about it. Now we have an opportunity to rediscover actually some very powerful tools and to learn some new powerful tools that then will work now and stand us in good stead when times pick up. That's just a little snippet on marketing. I love marketing, so I could give you all kinds of things and go on and on. But I want to move on to operations, because I think this is also a place where we experience challenges in tough times. We need operations. That's what helps us run our company. And operations cost us money. Right? It's the cost to get our product out to the customer. It's the cost to run all of our internal organization. It's the cost to make things happen. And when times are tough, of course, we're looking, maybe even only temporarily, but initially we're looking at, well, how do we cut some costs?